So there are 5 things that I'm going to share with you today in terms of how you can reinvent yourself. How you can reinvent yourself so that you can position yourself for success in your industry. Now, some of you are business owners. Some of you work for companies or for government sectors or nonprofit organizations, and you're looking for how you can maximize your potential. And so I'm going to touch on these 5 things that will be universal for you to be able to apply, regardless of where you are. And then at the very end, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. Sounds good? All righty. I realize that as women, before you can learn how to reinvent yourself, you have to embrace this one principle. And that is the concept of never do less when you have more. Never do less when you have more. We have so much more available to us than women who came before us did. And because we have more, we must do more. And if you do not have that as your mentality, then everything that I'm about to share with you really doesn't mean a hill of beans. So you have to embrace the principle that my grandmother, who last week just transitioned on to heaven, taught me, which was never do less when you have so much more. The first thing that you have to embrace is confidence. And I want you to write that down because I don't look at confidence like most people look at confidence. I'm not going to just tell you to believe in yourself because you can do anything that you set your mind to, which you can. But I think that's a watered-down way of looking at confidence. To me, confidence is about perception. How you see yourself matters. What you say about yourself matters. Because how you perceive yourself determines how you will prepare, and how you prepare determines how you will perform. You will never prepare for a game that you don't think you deserve to play in. And so if you do not see yourself as truly capable or entitled, and I'll explain a little bit more about entitlement in a moment. If you do not see yourself as designed for a certain level of success, you're not going to do what it takes to prepare to get there. So you have to first perceive that that is how you were designed and created, because that determines how you prepare, which then determines how you perform. In front of you, everything that you've ever desired, ever wanted, success, family, beautiful house, nice car, all of those things right there in front of you. But every time someone tells you that you're not capable, that you're not worthy, that you're not able, that you shouldn't even try, and you internalize that and you believe it, it's the equivalent of being turned around and still expecting somehow to get where you're going. It's not happening. And that's why attitude determines the direction that you're facing. If I don't believe that I am entitled to greatness, it is the same as turning backwards on your future. And so what you believe about yourself, if you have the perception of, I was designed on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. I'm supposed to be here. I deserve to be here. I have earned my way here. You know, I believe about myself, I believe that I am entitled to every good thing that ever was or ever will be. Some people might say that sounds a little conceited. If I don't believe it, who's going to believe it for me? And so that's the first thing that is required in terms of being able to reinvent yourself. You have to change the way that you think about yourself, which is the way you're supposed to think about yourself, as a person created from a place of abundance to produce abundance. The thing that is required is that you be captivating. You must be captivating. And in Skirts in the Boardroom, I talk about captivation as your personal brand and how you develop your personal brand. Your brand is really the sum total of others' perceptions about you. The question is, what is the perception that people have about you when they see you? And you have an opportunity to influence that. Of course, we have limited opportunities when we don't know somebody, but particularly when you have a business or you're in your company and you have an opportunity to demonstrate your work performance, you are determining what other people will say about you and your brand. Every single person in this room already has a brand. The question is whether your brand is communicating what you want it to communicate. So the first part of your brand is your image, how you appear. It's important. But the fourth thing that is required is that you develop amazing connections. You need a strong network. My definition of networking is the process by which you give of yourself, thereby inviting others and prompting others to give back to you. The process by which you give of yourself, thereby inviting and prompting others to want to give back to you. So, what you have to understand about networking is that networking is effective when you make deposits in the lives of other people. Networking is not about what you can get. It is effective based off of what you give. So when you give of yourself to other people, they want to help you. They become attached to you. They become appreciative of what you've done, and therefore they want to return the favor. That's all networking really is. It's not an event. It is a lifestyle. So I hope that you are a giving person, and that is what you need to be in order to have a strong network. Because you might have a lot of business cards. You might have a lot of contacts. But what you really have are a lot of wasted trees. If you do not have substantive, mutual, fruitful relationships with the people that are in your Rolodex. Just because you have my business card does not mean that you know me. And just because you have my business card does not mean that I'm going to pick up the phone. So if I won't pick up, and if I don't have anything to say about you, then do I really know you? Do we have a relationship? Is there a reason why if you call, I should refer you? Not just because you need something. Do you know how many people need something? Do you know how many people want something? How many of you get those calls from telemarketers? And no offense to telemarketers, maybe this will help you with your approach, but I hate when the phone rings and I hear that pause. Because then I know they want something. They want my money. And that makes me upset. So what do? I hang up the phone. So I never really get past the pause. Because I figure if you want to talk to me, then you should be on the phone. But you don't get to test and see whether I'm home or not. It's just my philosophy. Yes, I'm passionate about this because that has nothing to do with my point. So, but people will hang up on you too if you ask before you have a right to ask. If you haven't given anything, ladies, you do not have a right to ask. Start where you are, radical women, with what you have, knowing that what you have is already enough. Third thing, the final thing you have to be willing to change is your relationships. The number one thing holding women back are their relationships. The relationship that they have with other people, the relationship they have with themselves, and the relationship that they have with their past. And so we have to be willing to cut some of those things off. If you think about your relationships, I want you to think about them like a tree. Some people in your life are like leaves. They are flaky, and they will go with the wind. Don't spend any time with those folks. Some people in your life are like branches. The branches are a little confusing because they will invite you to put a little bit more weight on them. But as soon as you do, they break. Don't waste your time with branches. The people that you really want in your life are roots. People who are grounded, people who are firm, and people will support you in your growth. The problem that we have that limits us in our lives and in our careers is when we take a leaf, we plant it in the ground and expect it to become a root. It's not happening. The last quote that I want to leave with you is my favorite one. Start where you are, radical women, with what you have, knowing that what you have is already enough. God bless you. I look forward to helping you reinvent you.